Now the old shoe is going to be held in place by this little bit of a... Now you can do this on the car, but it's probably a little bit easier if you'll just take the spring off right here. And then you can take this over to the table. On the bench it's a little bit easier to take that U-clip off. Just line up the new brake shoe where the old one was. There's a little spring-loaded washer that goes on there, and then you just have to put that U-clip back on it. As soon as we get this done. Just squeeze that clamp until it fits snug around that little stud sticking up. Hold that spring back just a little bit so that you can get it hooked in there. That's the e-brake arm. Get everything lined up. The little pin has to come from back behind. Usually you have to do this by holding that pin forward with your fingers, pushing it forward in the front. They make a special tool for this, makes it pretty easy. You can actually do it with pliers if you want, but it's kind of cumbersome and hard. You actually hold that pin forward, and this thing twists that until that outer edge turns and keeps it locked in place. And line up all your parts how they're supposed to go. They should lock in at the top. Make sure you've got your plunger in it. The spreader arm goes in between back there. Goes in the notches. Again, if you know where they go, that's fine. If not, reference the other side to make sure that they're in the right place. If you have no other side, you may have to get a service manual out. Again, they make special tools to help you snap these in place. You can do it without them, but it's a whole lot easier with the tool. This cable that you can see actually goes around this stud up here. Has to go back around this curved part. Put your star wheel adjuster in there. The other end of that cable hooks right in here. As you can see, you've got your cable hooked in there and your spring as well. This is your self-adjusting star down here and the keeper that keeps it locked in place. You should get something like this 3M brake lube. Comes with a brush. We forgot to show this while we were doing it. Maybe this probably back there. But you can see where you apply that brake lube. It's back where the brake shoe rubs against the backing plate. There's 3 different places. Top, middle, and at the bottom. Do that on the front shoe and the back shoe. Just to make sure the brakes are in place, you should be able to rock them back and forth because they're kind of floating brakes. Make sure everything stays in place. And it's time to slide on the new drum. Since we have to bleed the brakes, we need to go up to the master cylinder and make sure it's full of fluid. Now to bleed the brakes, have someone get up on top and push the brake pedal down. Get them pumped up. And then when they're pumped up, open the bleeder screw. And then you just repeat the process. Pump up the brake, open the bleeder screw. Now an important part of the brakes, the last thing is adjusting them up. Remember the star adjuster that was in here? You can just stick a screwdriver in there and you can rotate it and usually feel it and hear it click as it's tightening. And you just want to turn it keep turning it until when you turn the tire you feel just a slight little drag on the brakes. If it's turning free with no resistance, it's too loose.